Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth. Do you talk to your kids about money? Huh? Do you ever mention investing? Things like that? No? Probably not. Most of you do not talk to your kids about money or investing, and I'm not here today to tell you you should. You should. But you know that your kids will soak up what you do. They learn from watching you, and we all wish we were better with money. But today I just want to make this really simple, very short video. What are 4 things that you should teach your kids about money? And I don't mean necessarily an 8-year-old or a 13-year-old. Your kids may be in their teens, their late teens, their 20s, even 30s, and you still have time. You can teach them some things. So here we go, 4 things you can teach them. The first, probably the most important, help make sure they understand the time value of money. I can't tell you how many young kids call me and they want to set up accounts. It's so exciting because they don't have to try as hard. The younger you are, the less hard you have to try to save for retirement. The older you are, if you're watching this, you're in your 40s and you haven't started anything else for retirement, first of all, call me. But if you haven't started anything, you feel a little behind. You're more stressed out about it. You've got to save a lot to catch up. So teach your kids that the younger you are, the easier it is, the less hard you have to work. Kids these days, if they're young enough, they don't want to work hard anyway, so they might be excited to know the time value of money. Take a second and let them know what $1 today could turn into in 45 to 55 years from now, depending on how old they are. The second thing I would teach them is really just honesty here. Let them know that life is not going to let you save for retirement uniformly. There are going to be hiccups. There are going to be things that get in your way where you either have to stop contributing for retirement or you're going to have to take money out of retirement. We, of course, hope that that doesn't happen to you. But if your kid knows that it's not a perfect world as far as retirement investing, then when that hiccup happens, they won't be discouraged. It'll be a little time off. They'll get right back on the wagon. All right, tip number 3, really simple. Be as aggressive as possible while you're young. Swing for the fences, pedal to the metal, whatever analogy you want to use. The younger you are, the more aggressive you should be. And make sure your kids know that if they're invested correctly, then 100% of the time, whenever the markets fall, it will recover from that. And if they're young enough, odds are it will recover before they retire. So they need to know that this is not a dangerous thing to do. Now, if you want to invest in one particular stock, okay, that's a little dangerous. But if you're spread out over ETFs or mutual funds, whatever you like, then you know you're really sort of in good hands. If there's any downturns, you're going to be just fine. Just weather it out, buy more on the dips. Make sure that they know these things are going to happen. The point is just be as aggressive as possible, right? If you can be aggressive when you're young, then you can be a lot more conservative when you get older. You don't have to try as hard when you get older. So put that together for them. When they're younger, if they start young enough, they barely have to try to save any money. They could put a little bit in. It's going to add up. Of course, you want to do more if you can. But then let them know if you do that now, when you get older, you won't have to try as hard then either. You just barely have to creep along, make a little money. You'll have a solid nest egg. And the final thing I want to point out, or that you should probably talk to your kids about, is the idea of when they have more money. When they pay off a car loan, when they pay off a student loan, when their boss gives them a raise, don't just accept the raise as something that's exciting. Be strategic about it. Every extra dollar you make might have a location. Maybe it's in retirement. Maybe it's put towards other loans or other debts. But be sure that they know that when they get a raise, obviously it's for a job well done, but also that money should be strategic. Don't just let it go blown on like fancy wines and new trips and another fancy car. Be strategic about that money. How do you make that new money make you even more money? Well, I hope you enjoyed just a short video today. 4 quick things you could teach your kids. I could probably go on to about 10 or 15 of these, but that was just to get you started, right? It's just to get the conversation started. Don't bore your kids. They don't want to hear every single little thing about finance, but if you can squeeze little things in there every now and then, make them smart, targeted efforts, you'll be just fine. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you have anything that you've taught your kids, and how did you do it? Did it work well for you? Do me a favor, hit subscribe up here at the top. If you would, also check out this video over here. I think you'll like it, one of my favorites, and we'll talk to you soon.